All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the championship game here, NJCAA men's soccer contest between the Frederick Cougars and the CCBC Essex Knights. Going to toss things over to our so he can introduce you to the starting lineups for today's epic championship game. CCBC Essex Knights going to toss things over to our so he can introduce you to the starting lineup.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to introduce you to the game starters, beginning with the designated visiting team, the Frederick Cougars. At midfield, number 3, Jeremy Navarro. At forward, number 5, Andrea Nikula. Midfield, number 8, Kareem Salmon. Defense, number 9, Devin Funga. Forward, number 11, Kenneth Sims. Midfield, number 12, Elmer Achoa. Defense, number 23, Michael Balua. Midfield, number 24, Lovett Jack. Defense, number 27, Pete Wickesser. At forward, number 32, Anthony Akamdoa. And starting in goal for the Cougars, wearing number 1, Marco Delori. The Cougars are led by head coach John LaRocca, and he is assisted by Christian Mejia, Connor Martin, and Elmer Diaz. And now, the starting lineups for the CCBC Essex Knights. At midfield, number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Defense, number 4, Walter Avila. Midfield, number 6, Varma Sirian. Forward, number 7, Clement Blano Jr. Midfield, number 9, Noah Shade. Midfield, number 10, Gage Robinson. Defense, number 16, John Asaro. Midfield, number 24, Seth Walter. Defense, number 25, Jake Dengler. Defense, number 27, Trent Hoffmeister. And starting in goal for the Knights, number 33, Kyle Cooper. The Knights are led by head coach Joe Fiedler. He is assisted by Jason Rims, Tim Fiedler, and Tyler Farrell. At this time, we ask all that are able to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America and the men and women of the armed forces with the flag of the Star-Spangled Banner. CCBC, we embody the spirit of sportsmanship because it is an important component of being a student athlete. We ask that you please refrain from the use of profanity and let all spectators remain positive in cheering for their favorite team. Ladies and gentlemen, CCBC would like to take this opportunity to thank the following sponsors. MedStar Sports Medicine, the official training partner of CCBC Athletics. The CCBC Associate of Applied Science Digital Media Productions Department, the official broadcast partner of CCBC Athletics.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have met the starting lineups, have heard the pregame spiel, and now we are ready for this exciting championship contest. Frederick Cougars up against the CCBC Essex Knights. I was not available for the semifinal contests, but I did get word that the Knights, the Cougars won their game first, and then some of the Cougars players were staying to watch the Knights game, and they were actually rooting for the Knights. Apparently, some of these Cougars players wanted to go head-to-head up against the Knights. Well, they got their wish. I don't know if the Knights wanted to face the Cougars, as this is going to be a tough matchup between these two teams. They are very evenly matched. Obviously, very stacked with talent. You don't make it this far into the season without having lots of talent out there on the field, not just in the starting lineups, but on the benches as well. These second units for these two teams about even with the players they have on their benches. So that could be a huge deciding factor in this game, which benches can come up big. Keys to victory for the Cougars, I think, is very simple. Get out ahead early. The Knights are not a team that is equipped to play well when they are playing from behind. They play a lot better when they're playing with the lead. I know that's about the most Captain Obvious statement you'll hear all broadcast, because doesn't every team play better with the lead? This Knights team, though, it's a different ball game when they're in the lead as opposed to playing from behind. Keys to the victory for the Knights: defense. Defense, and I'll say it once again, defense. This is a team that is built on their defense, but not just on the defensive line with players like Seth Walter, Trent Hoffmeister, and Jake Dengler, but the defensive midfielders for this Knights team, incredibly talented as well. Players like Carlos Guzman Hernandez and Noah Shade. Maybe not getting things done in terms of goal scoring for their team at the midfield position, but they play very well from the defensive side of the midfield. Here's the first offensive possession of the game for the Cougars in the black jerseys with the white shorts. The Knights in the all-white. Cougars in a good position here, or they were starting to get themselves into a good position. They had that ball on that far sideline trying to go for a through ball into the box, but that through ball was a little bit too through, and it safely rolled off the end line, and Kyle Cooper, sporting that bright orange or red goalie suit. Cooper is not a goalie that is used to being tested early on in the game. So if the Cougars could get him to sweat a little bit in this early part of the first half, go a long way into them getting the W. Cooper, first save of the game is an easy one. The ball bounced once and then went right into the waiting hands of Kyle Cooper. Cooper elected to go for the short throw, working through his defense. Or attempting to, because it didn't work that time. But, oh, man, a missed kick there from the Cougars. Could come back to hurt him. Clement Blamo Jr. is there to come away with the loose ball. Gives it up to Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Up to Blamo Jr. Shot and goal is nowhere near goal-scoring caliber. Clement Blamo Jr., that ball bounced up on him. I think he thought it was going to be on his foot. And right when he thought that, it bounced up. Came up towards his knee, and he wasn't able to get a good shot on. Ball ends up rolling safely into the goalie's hands. Two teams each with a save in the early part. Here come the Cougars. Really good opportunity. Almost a one-on-one breakaway, but Dengler was able to work himself in front of the ball. Cougars still with possession here, trying to get the Knights out of position. Great ball, switching fields, going from that far sideline to the near sideline. Good possession for the Cougars here, working hard, getting the ball into scoring range. Trying to go for a cross there, but good closeout defense by the Knights, forcing the backwards pass. The Cougars still in possession here. How much longer? We'll see. Not much longer. Knights defense, bend don't break there. They were awfully close to breaking. And there's going to be a foul. Clement Blamo Jr. not doing a good job of hiding his hands from the referee there. Had the hands all over the backside of the Cougars player. Going to get called for that every time, especially when you're right in front of the ref. These two teams have a, let's say, less than friendly history. These two teams known to have some chippy contests. Here this afternoon in the championship game, going to be no different, I'm sure. Bad pass there by the Cougars, but also a bad pass there by the Knights, as Hoffmeister has that taken away from him. Goes out of bounds. Which way? Goes the way of the Cougars. Knights had possession there with just for a moment. Hoffmeister, one of the many defensive players on this Knights team, not afraid to make a run from the back line. Oh, good steal, or almost steal, right at the midfield line, and it will go down as a steal, but they cannot hold on to it. Cougars doing a great job of pressuring the defense for the Knights once they get possession of the ball, making it very difficult for them to clear it out of their defensive zone. It's led to a couple extra offensive possessions for the Cougars here in the early part of this game. Extra offensive possessions usually lead to extra goals, and oh man, I don't know how there's no call on that. That seemed like a pretty blatant push. Maybe it was just a continuation. No, it's not, because the foul actually went on the Cougars. I know I'm supposed to stay unbiased, but I thought the Knights player threw in a little bit of a shoulder tackle there and sent the Cougars player moving forward. Thought that free kick maybe should have went towards the Cougars. Regardless, a free opportunity here for the Knights. Seth Walter taking the kick. It's a good one, but an even better punch by the goalkeeper for the Cougars. Man, what a play by Marco Delori. Came off of his line, got one fist on that, punched it out of the danger zone. A great play by him, saving what could have been a goal-scoring opportunity for the Knights. Here come the Cougars, trying to get that ball out of the defensive zone, and they do, but not with possession. As now the Knights throw in near sideline, about 20 yards in front of the midfield line. Trying to find Clement Blamo Jr. He puts the head on it, heads it back towards the goal, but he didn't have any teammates over there, so he had to try and do something with it, but he couldn't. Cougars take possession, but not for long. Knights, another throw in deep in their offensive zone. This one a better range to get something going. Seth Walter going to take the throw. He's got those cannons for arms. He's going to put this one right in the middle of the box. He does. You got two Knights players there, both of them able to get heads on it, but not able to do anything with it. Cougars not doing a good job of clearing this ball out of the danger zone, even though that was a nice slide tackle. How did Trent Hoffmeister get a hold of that, and how did he not bury it into the back of the net is the better question. Hoffmeister got that in a real good goal-scoring opportunity right in front of the goalie, right at the top of the box. He just went for the quick kick. Wasn't very accurate. Wide of the net, missed opportunity there. Longer this game remains 0-0. The longer Trent Hoffmeister will be thinking about that missed opportunity. Here come the Cougars after spending a couple minutes in their defensive zone. They're happy to get into their offensive zone, and they want to make something happen. Oh, almost. Very, very close. A great through ball by the Cougars. Almost put them in a one-on-one breakaway, but Cooper seized it ahead of time, was able to come off of his line and make the save just in the nick of time. If you are a Cougars player, fan, or coach, you got to be happy about what you just saw on that offensive possession. Trent Hoffmeister, bad pass, and now here's a numbers breakaway. Don't have space, but they do have numbers, and now they do have space. And he's just offsides. Oh, my goodness. It does not get much closer than that. And the Cougars fans here in attendance for this championship game not liking that call. Referee on that far sideline, he made some fans with a call like that, but he also made some enemies as well. Here's Noah Shade putting it in the middle. Only Cougars players there, and great clear job there by the Cougars defense. Bend don't break continues. Which one of these defenses is going to break first, though? And that was a little iffy. Looked like the Cougars player was the last one to kick that out of bounds, or looked like he was trying to kick it out of bounds, but apparently Blamo Jr. was the one who got his foot on it. Sorrow, good head. Sorrow with that head ball over to a teammate, but they can't do anything with it once they get it. But a turnover at the midfield line by the Cougars. It's a game of hot potato right now. Neither team controlling the ball for any extended period of time. Blamo Jr. right on the backside of the Cougars defender, Lovett Check. The ball will go out of bounds for a goal kick. Still neither team has had a corner. We've played over 10 minutes here in the first half. Score remains 0-0. Championship game. Doesn't get much bigger than this. Here's John Asaro. Winner of this game will head into Michigan for the state tournament, or for the nation tournament. Asaro going to let that one go out of bounds. Seth Walters said, I've seen enough of you taking the throw-ins. I'm going to take them now. Remember, Walters got the big arms. He takes those long throw-ins. That time, he found the head of Carlos Guzman Hernandez, but he wasn't able to do anything with it. His head ball goes out of bounds, and now the Cougars taking over offensive possession. Cougars haven't had many offensive possessions to their name in the early part of this game, but the offensive possessions they have had have been very good. Couple close calls at goal scoring. You had the through ball that almost found its way. And, of course, that offsides play. Trent Hoffmeister got lucky there. Referee going for the continuation. Oh, my goodness. And if we were playing on Sundays, that would count for 3 points, but it's Saturday, so it doesn't count for anything other than style points. But, man, the close calls for the Cougars offense continue. That is the third very, very close opportunity they've had at goal scoring. That one, a shot that just went over the goal and split the uprights of the field goal post. That would have done Justin Tucker proud, but doesn't count for anything here this afternoon. Dangler with a bad clear attempt there. Instead of getting it up the field, he sent it up to the sidelines, and he had two black jerseys around. It ends up being a turnover. Luckily, the Knights are able to get it right back, and now they're at the midfield line. But for how much longer? Not much longer, as the Cougars are really trying to get this ball back. Knights doing a good job of keeping it away from them for now. Seems like every time a white jersey gets the ball and goes into space, there's a black jersey right behind him, and that's a great play to stop that. It would have been an offsides anyway, but that put him in a position to get a good transition opportunity, and there The Knights made a Cougar sandwich there as two Knights players sandwiched in on the Cougars player. Going to get a call on that every time. And here is a free kick about just under 10 yards in front of the midfield line. Here is a great opportunity here for the Cougars. They've been knocking on opportunity's door the past couple minutes. Can they knock it down here? Ball's in the air. That's a great kick. Somehow went over the head of Jake Dengler. Not easy to do that. He stands at 6'5". Somehow the big man wasn't able to get his head on it, but that was probably a good thing. So it went out of bounds. Now the Knights taking over possession. Very good opportunity there for the Cougars. Wasted. Longer this game remains scoreless, the more those opportunities come back to haunt you. There's a good heel flick by Hoffmeister over to Asaro. Asaro, maybe his eyes were a little bit too big there. He saw the opportunity at the long pass. The accuracy was there, but the mustard was a little bit too much. Here come the Cougars trying to turn that corner. So close. Asaro did a good job of boxing out with the body there. Here's Hoffmeister up to Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Now to Gage Robinson, and Robinson just simply got beat there. He got beat at the midfield by a faster player. Luckily for him and his teammates, didn't come back to hurt him. That could have been an easy opportunity at transition for the Cougars if they could have taken advantage of it. Throw in here for the Knights. Far sideline. Want to get some kind of something good out of this offensive possession. Last couple offensive possessions for the Knights haven't been great ones. Cougars, on the other hand, still knocking on opportunity's door. Here's Varma Sirian. First time we're saying his name in the broadcast. Somehow he wasn't the one to touch that last. Seth Walter coming up from his defensive line to take the throw in. Last time he had to throw in from this area, went over the head of two different Knights players before it was cleared out by the Cougars. So here's an opportunity at offense. Seth Walter with the cannons. Long throw. It's ahead, but not very accurate. I believe that was Trent Hoffmeister who was able to get a head on that ball, but an easy save by the goalie, Marco Delori. Here come the Cougars. Good play at the midfield, or was it? Varma Sirian, a little bit too physical there. Here come the Cougars. Trying to get something going offensively here. Nice play by Hoffmeister to deflect that pass from finding its destination. Pass up. Blamo Jr. Can he turn the corner, turn the Jets on? And he cannot. Great defensive play there by the Cougars. That is the third or fourth time that the Cougars have made that stop when their defense needed it the most. There, if Clement Blamo Jr. would have been able to get past that last leg of defense, he could have started turning towards the goal and maybe had a chance at a goal-scoring opportunity. Bend don't break defense still there for these two teams. Which one of the defenses will break first? Flick to Hunter Alchin. Tried to go for a one-touch shot, but it deflects off of a defender for the Cougars. Here's Gage Robinson steal in the offensive zone, and that is going to be a push by the Cougars at about 5-10 yards in front of the box. Very good offensive opportunity. Jake Dengler is going to take this free kick. He's got a couple free kick goals already in this season, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he got another one here. He is the free kick specialist for this Knights team. Let's see what he can do here. Four-man wall set up right now for the Cougars. Trying to set themselves up in a perfect position here. Dengler kick right into the wall. Not a very good free kick there from Dengler, and the frustration, I'm sure, is written all over his face. Dengler, just like the rest of his teammates, one of the players who wears his heart on his sleeve, so I'm sure he's disappointed with himself after a missed opportunity like that. Don't get many chances like that. Free kick that close to the box. Got to take advantage of it. At least, put it into the box where the other team has to work. That time he just puts it right into the wall, and Cougars almost like they got a night off on that play. We've almost played a full 20 minutes here in the first half. Score remains 0-0. Who will break first? Cougars trying to make sure the Knights are, as they're knocking on opportunity's door, but no one answered that time. They turn it over. Here come the Knights. Throw in, far sideline. Up to Brian Roney. Roney can't control it. He turns it over. Roney trying, working extra hard to get it back, but he doesn't. Here come the Cougars. Far sideline. 2 white jerseys, only 1 black jersey. The white jerseys are the ones who come away with the ball. And a corner kick, our first of the game. Great opportunity here for the Cougars. Corner kick for the Cougars. Here is the corner kick. Cannot see which Cougars player is taking the kick. Hands up in the air. Ball's going to follow it shortly. Ball's up in the air. Good punch by Cooper, but they're not out of the danger zone just yet. Follow through kick. Splits the uprights. Doesn't count for anything other than style points. That being said, I wouldn't even give that one that many style points. Split the uprights. The second time they've done that here in this game. First one was a lot closer than the second one, though. Here come the Knights. Gage Robinson trying to put a head ball over to his teammate Carlos Guzman Hernandez, but it's stolen away from him. Here come the Cougars. And it's stolen right back by the Knights. Here's Trent Hoffmeister up the sideline. Bad pass, goes right to the Cougars. Hot potato continues. Neither team controlling this ball for any extended period of time. And that ball will safely bounce out of bounds. Asaro will take the throw. I think he's looking over at Seth Walter like, are you sure you don't want to take this? I mean, this is your specialty. Walter says, if you're going to twist my arm about it, all right, I'll take it. Walter elects to go for the short throw in over to Dangler, who gives it over on the far sideline. Now Gage Robinson working it up to Roney. Roney working it into the middle. Long shot right into the waiting hands of the goalkeeper, Brian Roney. I wasn't even sure that was going to get to its target. Roney, one of those players for the Knights, not afraid to launch a shot from outside of the box. Head ball right into the waiting hands of Kyle Cooper. Shortest offensive possession of the game for the Cougars there. And the Knights follow it up with their shortest offensive possession. They get the ball and immediately give it right back. Now approaching the 20-minute mark of the first half. The score remains at 0-0. I say one thing that's pretty surprising about this game so far is how the starters are still pretty much all in the game. Both team has gone to their bench, but for the most part, they've kept their starters in, and man, that's something you don't want to see if you're a Knights fan. Gage Robinson down, one of the starters in the game, and he does not look like he's in a good position. He already has a brace on the knee that he's holding. Referee stops the game, so we'll stop the broadcast for right now. Try and get you an update on the injury if we can. Gage Robinson is down for the Knights. We'll be back after this injury timeout. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the two teams are back out onto the field and ready to play the final 22 minutes and change of this first half. Gage Robinson was the injured player. Seemed to be a knee injury. It'll be wishful thinking if we were to see him again. From the way he was down on the ground, I believe it seems to be somewhat of a serious injury, but hopefully we see him back in the game. It's a big blow for the Knights, one of the starters and one of the top defensive midfielders on this Knights team. It'll be interesting to see who takes over that mantle for the Knights. Right now, Michael Nunez is the player who has come into the game. He joins Brian Roney and Hunter Alchin as fellow players coming off the bench and seeing their first action of the game. Ball's on the far sideline. Cougars have possession of it, but for how long? Two white jerseys around the ball, and neither of them could steal it. Cougars still in possession here. And that ball will roll out of bounds. Cougars will take the throw, and now we have a Cougars player down on the ground. Or looks like he's just actually tying his shoe. We may have another break in the action. Seems to be another injured player out on the field. He comes out of the game, and we have a sub come in for the Cougars. And play will continue now. Here are the Cougars. Really good opportunity. Goal scoring. Oh, that hit the side of the net. Doesn't get much closer than that. Great goal scoring opportunity there for the Cougars. They blasted into the side of the net. Here's Brian Roney, ball on his foot. Long pass up the field. Doesn't find anybody. That will safely roll off the end line, or the out of bounds line, excuse me. Throw in for the Cougars is a good one. Now a one-on-one breakaway. Kyle Cooper's going to meet him halfway. And oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. It does not get much closer than that. And if the Cougars if the Cougars can't come away with a win here this afternoon, that'll be a play that their coaching staff, players, and fans will be thinking about later, because it doesn't get much better of an opportunity than that. A one-on-one breakaway. Cooper was really the unsung hero of that play for the Knights, just forcing the Cougars player to readjust what he wanted to do there. If Cooper wouldn't have played that off of his line as quickly as he did, that could have easily been a goal for the Cougars. Cougars' offensive momentum continues as they were knocking on opportunity's door there for a minute before it went out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars. The Knights are finding themselves in a very sticky situation. They need to get some offense rolling down their side of the hill, or they're going to get themselves into a situation where the Cougars have all the momentum and the lead. Offensive opportunities have been much better for the Cougars. The scoreboard just doesn't reflect it. There's a trip from behind. Some Cougars fans not liking that call, but I got to ask, are you guys watching the same game as I am? That seemed like a pretty blatant trip from behind. Called by the ref. Here's Asaro trying to play it into the middle, and that is just not a very good pass there from Asaro. It's the second or third time the Knights have gone for the through ball or the long pass, and it just hasn't worked out in their favor. You may see them later in the stages of this first half, moving into the second half. You may see them try and go for the shorter passes instead of those long passes. There's a good defensive tackle by Carlos Guzman Hernandez. And now he's just got to get something going because he had 3 black jerseys surrounding him. Michael Nunez, pass over. Alchin puts it in the middle. Got a couple players there. Nunez gets a head on it. Now he's trying to get a foot on it. And nobody is able to do anything with it. But here's the first corner of the game for the Knights. Who's going to take it? Roney, Dangler, Guzman Hernandez. They've all done a great job taking corner kicks this season, but it looks like Brian Roney's going to take it.
Corner kick for the Knights. Taking a kick is number 19, Brian Roney.
Here's Roney. Ball's in the air. Nobody's there to do anything with it, but Walter can put it right back in. And man, bend it like Beckham. Whoa. Seth Walter did a little bit of magic with that ball. That looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but it curved perfectly right towards the goalie. And the goalie, luckily, was in the right position at the right time to make that save. Seth Walter, almost a goal for his team. Walter playing with the ball on the sideline. Oh, man, that's going to be a trip. Walter. I think that's probably my favorite thing to see out there outside of a really good play is when a player commits a foul and then goes directly to the referee with his shoulders shrugged like, what happened? I'm sorry, Walter. That was a trip from behind. Under 20 minutes left to play here in this first half now. And a bad play there, or a bad first touch there by Osiris, excuse me. Here come the Cougars. Good midfield defense there by the Knights. Sirion stole that away. And the head referee calling off the line judge. The line judge said it was going to the Cougars, but the head referee said it was off the back foot of a Cougars player. Head referee calls off the lineman, and that's why the Knights have possession of the ball. Clement Blamo Jr. trying to turn the corner, get into the box. He can't turn the corner, but he can get a cross off, but it's not a very good one. Going up the sideline. Here come the Cougars. Long through ball's not going to find its target, or will it? Asaro working overtime, but he gets beat. In the middle. Oh, Dangler. Last line of defense was Jake Dangler there for the Knights team, and he made the play. If Dangler wouldn't have been there, we would have seen our first goal of the game for the Cougars. We still may see that goal as they've got a corner kick.
Corner kick for the Cougars. Taking a kick is number 12, Elmer Ochoa.
And not a very good corner kick there from Elmer. Not a very good corner kick, like I was saying that time, from Elmer. And with under 15 minutes to play in the first half, this game is still scoreless. Even though the Cougars have had at least 4 or 5 really good opportunities at goal scoring, the scoreboard doesn't reflect it because the score still remains at 0-0. I would certainly like to be a fly on the wall for head coach John LaRocca of the Cougars and head coach Joe Fiedler of the Knights. Hopefully those two coaches have a Phil Jackson-esque halftime speech because these two teams may need it. Here's Dangler, free kick. Near sideline. Oh, Varma Sirion was in position, but he got tripped up. And is that in the box? We're going to find out. No, it is not. It doesn't get much closer, though, to being in the box. It is right on the out mark of the box. And here's Dengler, opportunity at goal scoring. Remember, he had a free kick from about 10 yards outside of the box earlier in this first half. That was not good. It went right into the wall. Here's his second opportunity at the free kick. Is the second time the charm? Let's find out. Four-man wall set up in front of Dengler once again. He couldn't beat that wall last time. And now it's a five-man wall this time. We're getting word from the fans calling it a 1-0 right here. Just trying to do a Joe Namath and predict. And Dengler couldn't do anything with it that time. Put it right into the wall. Offsides call. Clement Blamo Jr. trying to plead his case with the referee, but it's going to fall on deaf ears. That's the second time of the game Dengler has had an opportunity with the free kick. Both times he's put it right into the wall. Let's see if he gets a third chance, and maybe the third chance will be the golden one. Clement Blamo Jr. somehow able to get a body on that ball. Cougars able to come away with possession, though. Now we have a Cougars player down on the ground, and it doesn't look good. He's holding his knee, or he's holding his hamstring. But he seems to be all right. He's going to try and rub some turf on it and, walk it off. If this was professional soccer, they'd get the magic spray out there, which I'm told is just water. Long cross, finds the head of a Cougars player, but he cannot accurately put that on goal. Man, the Cougars just continuing to knock on opportunity's door. We don't keep track of time of possession up here in the booth, but I got to think that the time of possession would go towards the Knights, but opportunities would go towards the Cougars. They've had so many chances in this first half, just not able to do anything with it. Here comes Asaro. Quick pass up to Hoffmeister. Hoffmeister now working it back to his defender, number 25, Jake Dengler. Here's Walter Avila, who has been in this entire first half, and he's been pretty quiet. 10 minutes left exactly here in the first half. Cougars knocking on opportunity's door once again. And Asaro puts his body in and deflects that pass before it could find its destination. Asaro with a great slide tackle, but he can't get the ball, and it's going to be a goal kick. Man, Asaro saved that play two separate times there. First with the deflection, and then with the great slide tackle. If Asaro would have missed one of those plays, it could have been a goal-scoring opportunity for the Cougars. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, though. Goal kick's not a good one. Finds the head of a Cougars player, and now they're on the attack. Dengler, last line of defense. Can he clear it? He does. He clears it out of the danger zone just for a moment, though, as the Knights still find themselves in a sticky situation. Far sideline. Now working up towards the midfield. Osiris has it stolen away from him, and then he trips up the Cougars player. A retaliation foul there from Osiris. Little pushing and shoving, man. This thing's getting physical in the second half. I'm making a call right now. We're going to see at least one yellow card in that second half. Things are getting chippy out there, and they're only going to continue to get more chippy. The longer this thing remains at 0-0. Now under 10 minutes left to play in the first half. And the Cougars knocking on opportunity's door once again, trying to change that score from 0-0 to 1-0. Couldn't do it that time, as Kyle Cooper and the Knights will take over here with the goal kick. Up over everybody's head, Barma-Sirian comes back from his forward position up towards the midfield to get a hold of that one. And man, a tough play there Cougars steal that ball in the defensive zone of the Knights, and if they could have controlled that, could have had an opportunity at the breakaway. They deflected the pass and then immediately accidentally kicked it out of bounds. Long pass up the sideline. It will not find a Knights player. Instead, it'll safely find the goalkeeper for the Cougars. Now, dangerously close to the final 5 minutes of this first half. And the scoreboard remains at 0-0. Oh, man! A wrestling match apparently was even there that time. And here come the Cougars. Oh, bad flick there. Does find its target, but a little bit more mustard on that. Could have been a one-on-one breakaway. That heel flick is such a useful maneuver if you can pull it off properly. Now up on the sideline, Sirion somehow comes away with that 50-50 ball. For how long, though, we'll find out. Cross deflects off of a Cougars player, and now the Cougars can clear it out of their danger zone. No, they can't. I spoke too soon as Carlos Guzman Hernandez intercepted that clear attempt, and now the Knights. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. They're trying to get their first goal of the game. Hoffmeister tripped up, falling down, and got to agree with the Cougars player. He's playing that ball from his backside, and that's usually a no-no. And, oh, man, a battle of shoulder widths there. Carlos Guzman Hernandez was the one who came away with the victory. Man. Chippiness continues, and it's only going to get worse. That was a hard shoulder tackle there. Carlos Guzman Hernandez sent his shoulder right into the chest of the Cougars midfielder. And the Cougars midfielder took a seat on his backside. And once he got up, he had some choice words for the referee, and I can hardly blame him. Here's Sirion over to Blamo. Jr. has it stolen away from him. Here come the Cougars. Up the sideline. Here they come once again. Can they turn the corner? No, they can't. And the Cougars are doing a great job of keeping the pressure on the defense for the Knights. The Knights will have a possession for a couple minutes, but then the Cougars get the ball right back, and then it's boom. They're right on the offensive attack. Under 5 minutes left to play here. Here come the Cougars. Long shot. Bounces safely into the hands of Kyle Cooper. The eyes were a little bit too big there. Saw an opportunity. Thought it was a better one than what it really was. There's Michael Nunez with the flick kick over his head. Hunter Alchin's there. Can he chase it down? He can, but can he turn the corner? And man, what an incredible defensive play there from the Cougars. And that ball goes out of bounds. Whistle will go on Hunter Alchin. Man, the Cougars defense, that was just picture perfect. That was beautiful. Hunter Alchin was getting ready to turn the corner. He tackled him to the ground cleanly and then got possession of the ball. Bend don't break defense continues for these two teams, but like I've said all of this first half, one of these defenses is going to break. Which one will it be first? Pass up. Here's Blamo Jr. trying to put a foot out and control that pass. He can't do it, and that's why the Cougars have possession here once again. Right at the midfield line. Gets around Sirion. Now past the midfield line. And stolen away from Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Or stolen away by Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Now here's Noah Shade. Cross field pass over to Avila. Avila in the middle. And that is not a good through ball, as the only person who was able to get to that in time was Marco Delori, the goalkeeper for the Cougars. Just over 3 minutes left to play here in the first half, and the score still is 0-0. Oh, that was dangerous. Had the right idea, but maybe not at the right time. They play the head ball back to Kyle Cooper, and Cooper had to work a little extra to get to that as he had a Cougars player coming into the danger zone. Guzman Hernandez up to Noah Shade. And Shade didn't know that that through ball was coming. That's why he didn't get it. Out of bounds once again. Here come the Cougars. John Asaro trying to use the body to shield from the Cougars defense, and he doesn't have to do it very much as Cougars offensive player committed the foul. Seth Walter takes the free kick over nobody's head. Matt Blamo Jr. in the goal scoring and a save. What an incredible save by Marco Delori. And now we've got the chippiness unfolding here once again. It was a bang-bang play by Marco Delori and Clement Blamo Jr. And now Delori, what's the best way to put this? Marco Delori's puffing his chest out a little bit more than he probably should be right now. Marco trying to show his dominance out there. He made the impressive play, but he was doing a little bit of strutting afterwards. He would have thought he was Ric Flair or something. Just over a minute left here in this game, or excuse me, in this first half. I'm jumping the gun a little bit there. Oh, that's a dangerous play. You hear the reaction from the crowd, says it all. Varma Sirion's head was dangerously close to the bottom of somebody's cleat, and you never like to see that. This could be the final opportunity that the Knights get here in this first half. Can they make the most of it? Seth Walter, free kick. Puts it into the box. He's got a couple white jerseys around there, but also a couple black jerseys as well. Dengler gets a head on it, but the Cougars clear it out of the danger zone. Bend, don't break defense continues. Which one of these defenses is going to break first? Right now, it doesn't look like either of them are going to break in the first half. And just over 10 seconds left here, and oh, just over the goal. Missed opportunity.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That is the end of the first half. The score at the end of the first 45, 0-0. But not for lack of trying. Let's see what the second half has in store for us after this quick break. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here and ready to play the final, what should be and could be the final 45 minutes of the season for one of these two teams. The score at the end of the first 45 was 0-0, but not for lack of trying, as these two teams had plenty of opportunities at goal, plenty of opportunities at scoring. Just couldn't make the most of it, and that is why our scoreboard still reads 0-0. Here come the Cougars, their first offensive possession of the game. We talked about at the beginning of the game the two keys for victory for these teams. For the Cougars, I said the keys to victory was getting ahead early. They have not been able to do that. And I said the key to the victory for the Knights was defense, defense, defense. The defense for the Knights has been good, not great, not their best outing of the season by any means, but they've been good enough to keep this game scoreless. The Cougars, though, have been knocking on opportunities' door over and over again here in this game. They've had way more opportunities than the Knights.
It's so hard to see the ball.
Just haven't been able to do anything with it. There, the Knights had an opportunity there, but that went well over everybody's head. Out of bounds, last touch by the Knights. The goal kick for the Cougars, right at the midfield line. Now up, here's Clement Blamo Jr. now up the far sideline. That's Hunter Alchin. He's still in the game, I'm sure, playing for the injured Gage Robinson. We have not seen him come back into the contest since he injured his knee earlier on. A goal kick here for the Cougars. Always important at any level, in any game at soccer, controlling the ball after the restart. Here's two goal kicks already in the early part of this second half for the Cougars, and they haven't been able to control the ball after either of them. Luckily for them, the Knights bailed them out that time, as they couldn't control it either. Cougars now, far sideline. And that was a pretty obvious foul call there. Cougars player threw the shoulder into the Knights player, and the whistle was blown by the ref. Almost played a full 5 minutes here in the second half. Trent Hoffmeister had the ball for a moment for the Knights. The Knights lost possession. Here come the Cougars. Sirion plays that off of his head out of bounds. Here come the Cougars once again. Throw in, same position. Good job at first of shielding the Knights away from getting to the ball with the body. Couldn't finish it, though. Clement Blamo Jr. trying to find Hunter Alchin in the middle. Body language for these two teams in this early part of the second half is not very good. Cougars seem to be a little out of whack after coming back from halftime. The sense of urgency doesn't seem to be there for them right now. The Knights, that being said, pretty much the same for them. The Cougars knocking on opportunity's door, but a great play there by the Knights, and then an even better play there by the Cougars. Defensive player went for the overhead bicycle kick. You put that on a videotape, put some music behind it, you got yourself a YouTube video. And there is a steal. Far sideline. Down on the ground is a Cougars player. Here come the Knights. Blamo Jr. past one man. He's got space in front of him. Now across to Sirion, and Sirion cannot get in front of that. And man, That was just a wasted opportunity. No really way you could put that. Pharmasirion, I don't know if he just wasn't expecting the pass or the pass is a little bit too far out in front of him, but Blamo Jr. seemed to have the right idea by setting him up. The give and go that time just did not work. My dad always used to say the pass is prettier than the shot. Well, the pass wasn't pretty that time, and that's why there wasn't a shot. Dangler now up the sideline. Walter Avila had it stolen away from him. The Cougars can't do anything with it as their pass goes right to the foot of Seth Walter. And Seth Walter's pass goes right into the chest of Jeremy Navarro. Here's Navarro. Oh, bad pass by him, and he'll be thinking about that one later. Navarro, opportunity was right in front of him, but he wasted it as he put that pass right onto the foot of John Asaro. Throw in far sideline for the Cougars. Hunter Alchin. Here he comes. He's got a black jersey behind him and in front of him. And the one in front of him was able to get the steal. They clear it out just for a moment because Guzman Hernandez is knocking on opportunity's door once again. He carried that one a little bit too long. Come back to haunt him. Or it could come back to haunt him, excuse me. The Knights need to get a goal here real soon. This offensive momentum is fully, completely, 100% on their side. They need to take advantage of it quickly. It only takes one good play for the Cougars to get that momentum back on their side. The Knights have worked very hard to get momentum on their side, and let's see if they can take advantage of it. Oh, bend, don't break defense there once again from the Cougars. Last line of defense. Number 24, Lovett-Check. If he wouldn't have been able to make that play, I think we could have seen our first goal of the game for the Knights. He was the last line of defense there before the goalie. Walter Avila trying to find Sirion with the throw-in. He doesn't. Instead, finds the foot of a Cougars player. And now the Cougars are on offensive attack. For how long? We'll find out here. Oh, trying to turn the corner. Avila gets beat. Now in the middle. And it goes well over the goal. Missed opportunity there for the Cougars, but something you got to be happy about if you're the Cougars coaching staff or fan. This game was looking like it was going to get out of hand for them in a moment ago. The offensive momentum was squarely on the shoulders of the Knights, but after a play like that, some of it is back onto the shoulders of the Cougars. Let's see if they can steal back some more momentum here after this. Carlos Guzman Hernandez jumping in the air, catching that ball at its highest point. Roney trying to turn the corner, get a cross off. He can't, but a corner kick, though. Let's see what the Knights have here on this corner kick. Carlos Guzman Hernandez is going to take it.
Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez.
Guzman Hernandez, I think, is the corner kick specialist for the Knights. Gets that ball in the air. Oh, what a punch. Oh, man. Marco Delori had to get the punch up there, put the fist on that ball. Man, that could have been a goal there. If he wouldn't have been able to punch that out of the danger zone, he had a white jersey behind him who could have put a head on that ball and buried into the back of the net.
Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez.
Here comes the kick again from Guzman Hernandez. Hands up in the air, ball follows it. And that one is well over everyone's head, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway, as there was some pushing and shoving going on in the box. I'm going to go on a limb and wouldn't be surprised if that was number 25, Jake Dangler. He's the player they want to get the ball to in that situation. tallest player on the team. You want to find his head on those corner kick opportunities. Ryan Roney has the ball stolen from him. And now here come the Cougars up the sideline. Can they do something with it? Let's see. Seth Walter clears it back to his keeper. Cooper, dangerous pass. Walter Avila could not wait for it to get to him. Instead, he had to get to that ball and get it away from the danger zone. Here are the Cougars. Offensive opportunity. Great play by Dengler. Sticks the foot out and makes the tackle. Carlos Guzman Hernandez trying to turn the corner. I gotta say, since I'm mutual here, there was a little bit of a push and there was a little bit of a flop. It was kind of like both. He definitely didn't push him hard enough for him to flop like that, but he definitely pushed him a little bit. And the Academy Award goes to Brian Roney up on the sideline. Oh, good tackle there. A clean one. It's a tough position to be able to make that tackle from the side there. Somehow he was able to. Hoffmeister with a good tackle. Man, these two teams just going back and forth with good tackles here. Who's going to come away with the ball? This bend don't break defense. Man, it certainly can bend. But can it break right now? I'm not certain that it can. We've played almost a full 15 minutes here in this second half. And the score remains 0-0, but not for lack of trying, as Alfred would say. Man, what is going to happen here? This has been such an incredibly exciting championship game. There's it in the box. Oh, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Oh, man. Trying to put that in the box. Two black jerseys there. Neither of them were able to get a head on it. And a missed opportunity. Longer this game goes scoreless, the more those missed opportunities are going to come back to haunt you later on. Here's Blamo Jr. Oh! Oh, man, Blamo Jr. It doesn't get much closer than that. Blamo Jr. got that ball on his foot. He knew that he had two black jerseys coming towards him, and he had to get rid of that ball and get a shot on goal as quickly as possible. He got the shot off, but the on-goal part, not so much. Now, just over 30 minutes. Oh! And there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, I believe, there. Either that or an offsides call. I couldn't see if the line judge had his flag up in the air. Regardless, an opportunity that the Knights thought they had was non-existent. It was a Fugazi. Carlos Guzman Hernandez up. There's Padilla. Padilla could not save it. It seemed like he could at first, but Dominic Padilla, it is a little bit of a hill on that side of the field, so maybe it kind of just rolled off down that side of the hill. Regardless, Dominic Padilla, he's going to be thinking about that one later. That was definitely a missed opportunity by him. Padilla, same position. He just had the ball a moment ago. This time, he saves it from going out of bounds, but he commits a foul. Cougars on the offensive attack once again. There it is. Oh, Kyle Cooper comes in with the slide. I'm sure he would have liked to be able to slide and catch that ball, or at least put a hand on it, but instead he slides and puts it out of bounds. Corner kick here for the Cougars.
Corner kick for the Cougars. Taking the kick is number 5, Andrea Nukila.
Ball's in the air, gets a head on it. Bunch of white jerseys around there, a bunch of black jerseys around there as well. Neither of them able to control it. Here's Michael Nunez. Michael Nunez, I'm not sure what he was doing there, just standing around once he had the ball stolen from him. Luckily, Dengler was able to steal it right back. He's on the attack, and he's thinking about a goal scoring. Blamo Jr. over to Nunez. Nunez, right foot. No, he puts it over on the left, and he has it taken away from him. I'm no mind reader, but I'm pretty sure what's going through head coach Joe Fiedler's mind right now is play to the whistle. Play to the whistle. Oh, here it comes. And a goal by the Cougars. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. The Cougars have taken the lead 1-0 here, and the crowd is going wild. Oh, my goodness. I once saw in a movie where the main character said, if you can't say it better yourself, just steal it from someone else. That's why I'm going to quote the great Vince Scully when I say, in a Cougar season that has been most improbable, the impossible has happened. Vince Scully said that after Gibson hit the home run in the '86 World Series. But, man, what an impossible play there from the Cougars, but they were able to get the goal off and the shot buried into the back of the net. Man, what an incredible turn of events there. It looked like the Knights were knocking on opportunity's door, but the Cougars... Okay, thank you. That Cougars goal was scored by number 11, Kenneth Sims. Has the impossible happened? I don't know. We're going to find out in a minute, and we may see a yellow card here as well as Hoffmeister, a little trip up from behind. Here are the Cougars knocking on opportunity's door there, but couldn't do anything with it. A little pushing and shoving. Matt Blamo Jr. trying to chase that one down, couldn't do it. The Knights, though, have a corner kick. Let's see if they can get this game back tied up at 1-1 with a corner kick here. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Guzman Hernandez, ball's in the air. No one is able to get a head on that ball. And the Cougars do a good job of clearing it out of the danger zone. This is my fault for not bringing this up earlier, but if this game ends the way it is, this would be an end to the Knights' historic run as champions here in the NJCAA division. They are 5-time defending champions. A lot riding on this game right now. It's a championship game. Also, a dynasty is at stake. Throw in for the Cougars near sideline. Just over 25 minutes left in this game, so there's still plenty of time for the Knights to get back into this one. But that goal for the Cougars, how quickly it came, the way it came, that is a momentum killer if I ever saw one. I like to refer to myself as the body language doctor sometimes, and the doctor says body language for the Knights is not very good right now. Oh, come on. What is that? And we're going to see a card here, I'm sure. And a foul was called there. Yellow card was issued to Elmer Ochoa.
Yellow card issued to the Cougars, number 12, Elmer Ochoa.
Dangler with the play, and man, that was his best that was the best free kick he's had here in this game, but it went right into the waiting arms of the goalkeeper. So a missed opportunity regardless. Walter Avila just had to quickly get rid of that ball. Here come the Cougars. Try and go for the through ball, but here come the Knights. Midfield line, Hoffmeister. Here's Dangler, and Dangler is working extra hard to try and get that ball back, but didn't do a good job of getting it. He had that ball taken away from him. And now things are getting extra chippy out there, going back and forth, some pointing going on, and I don't know what the ref's doing out there. He's got to get a hold of this game. These two teams are still having words with one another. That's how fights break out. Officiating in this game has been a little bit puzzling at times. Trent Hoffmeister, he's working hard to get that ball back. The Knights know that this is very close to being the end of their season. Hoffmeister did finally get that ball back, but he gave it right back to the Cougars once he got it. Under 25 minutes left to play here in this contest. The score remains 1-0 in favor of the Cougars after Kenneth Sims. Just an absolutely incredible goal in the late stages of the second half that has given the Cougars a 1-0 lead. And now the ball is dancing around on that far sideline. Couldn't see which team had it. Finally, the Knights are the ones who emerged from the scrum with the ball. Here's Dangler. Ball on his foot. Right outside. Shot. No good, but Clement Blamo Jr. ties it up. Dangler to Blamo Jr. And this game is brand new. What an incredible turn of events. The Knights, they seemed beaten down and out, but Jake Dangler with the incredible pass across the field to Clement Blamo Jr., who buries it into the back of the net. It's now tied at 1-1. Man, what an incredible game.
That Knights goal was scored by number 7, Clement Blamo Jr., assisted by number 25, Jake Dangler.
And I am contractually obligated to tell you that this is a brand new ball game. This is a brand new ball game indeed. Man, after so many opportunities at goal scoring in the first half, it kind of seemed like we were in store for a 1-0 game. And honestly, if I was a betting man, I would have put my money on that game being over once the Cougars scored that goal, because it really did seem like the Knights were down and out for a bit of time after that goal, but they kept their foot on the gas pedal and kept their heads up high. Clement Blamo Jr.'s goal has breathed new life into this game. 22 minutes is all that separates us from the end of this contest, so we could be in store for overtime, knock on wood. Roney, oh no, Brian Roney. He's going to be thinking about that one later today, that's for sure. Roney had the opportunity. The goalie was out in between the pipes, and Roney just went for the one-touch shot. It wasn't accurate. Missed opportunity there by him. Sirion, head ball up to Blamo Jr. He's trying to trace it down, but he can't. The goalkeeper for the Cougars makes another tremendous save. These goalies here in this contest for both teams, they've been tested early and often. Oh, great ball. Somehow that wasn't a dangerous play, though, for the Knights. A dangerous turn of events, I should say. It looked like when that ball was in the air, the Cougars are going to get an opportunity at goal scoring. The offensive possession wasn't long. Dangler trying to go for a quick flick. It works. Now he's trying to go for a cross. Guzman Hernandez doing a little bit of trickery. He did a complete spin right in front. And, man, Jake Dangler doing his best Jamal Crawford impression there. He's breaking some ankles out there on the court. And the scissor kick doesn't work. Oh, Brian Roney. His shot was going to find at least the goalie, but instead it finds the forehead of Clement Blamo Jr. That one's going to hurt tomorrow. Blamo Jr. took that one off the forehead like he was in a V8 commercial or something. Should have had a V8. Ball's on the sideline. Cougars look like they're going to be the ones to get it. And they do, but they're also the last ones to touch it. And now with just under 20 minutes left in this contest, the score remains at 1-1. But the Knights and Seth Walter have an opportunity here. Throw in deep in their offensive zone. Walter's going to try and put this in the box. His throw-ins haven't been that great here, but it only takes one to turn it around. Dangler was able to get a head on it, but he heads it over everybody. And that one rolls safely out of bounds. Throw in on the near sideline. Guzman Hernandez tries to steal it away. Dangler tried to as well. Walter Avila is finally the one who's able to steal it away. Brian Roney gave it right back, though. Now 50-50 ball in the air, off the head of Walter Avila, but controlled by the Cougars. Once again, 50-50 ball. Once again, controlled by the Cougars. For how long, we'll find out. Oh, man, Walter Avila, he could get himself a card for a play like that. Avila had his hands well over around the neck and shoulder area of the Cougars player. And that was just, I don't know what that was. Kind of seemed like he was bragging about choking a guy, throwing him on the ground. Walter Avila, lucky he didn't get a card for that play. Ball's up in the air. 50-50 ball won by Avila. So he bailed himself out. Committed the turnover, but then got the ball back. That's how you do it. Clement Blamo Jr. up the field. He's got numbers and space. Oh, what an incredible play. They put a stop to the offensive momentum before it really got going. And now, man, what a turn of events this game has come to. I thought this one was over once the Cougars scored that goal, but man, the offensive momentum is back onto the shoulders of the Knights, that's for sure. And lapse in judgment there from the Cougars player, number 21, Ricardo Alfaro. He just let that ball roll out of bounds. Maybe he thought it was last touch by the Knights. Regardless, can't afford to turn the ball over in your defensive zone with 17 minutes left in a tie, a 1-1 championship game. Varmasirian shot. Oh, Jake Dengler was there, but he couldn't. Oh, that's Dengler, excuse me. That's Hunter Alchin. I saw the blonde hair and immediately thought that was Jake Dengler since he's had his fingerprints all over the second half. But that time it was Hunter Alchin who almost got what could have been the deciding goal of the game. Oh yeah, I'm out too. Here is the free kick. You know what? I just realized when I made that Vince Scully line earlier, I said Vince Scully said that in the 86 World Series. That was wrong. He actually said that in the 88 World Series. 86 World Series with the Red Sox and the Mets. So, not that you were keeping tracks on that anyway. 16 minutes is all that separates these two teams from the end of this contest. And could it be a memorable 16 minutes? Jake Dengler coming across. Oh, he gets past one defender. Now a second. Oh, he can't get past that second defender. Now he's got to turn the brakes on. And he had it stolen away from him. Dengler, he's one of the better ball handlers on this team, but 3 players in front of him, it's going to be tough to beat 3 guys. That time the numbers game was not in his favor, and it worked against him. Here are the Cougars. Up the field. Near sideline. Walter, nice play to chest that ball down and control it. Walter up to Blamo Jr. Blamo Jr. trying for a step over. Now to Dengler on the near sideline. Dengler's got space in front of him. He's into the goal scoring range. Oh, a shot on goal. He just missed. What an incredible save by Marco Delori. Jake Dengler, great goal scoring opportunity, a great shot on goal, but an even better save. And a timeout is taken. We have an injured player on the field. Can't see who it is. Believe it was Hunter Alchin for the Knights, but he seems to be up and walking around now, so we'll resume play in a moment. We're getting a hand signal from the ref. Maybe there's some blood on the... Just guessing there was some blood on the player or something, because I didn't see a yellow card issued, but the player was sent off the field. I'm not sure what's going on, but I know that we're going to resume play in a moment. And possession will be with the Cougars. Just under 15 minutes left to play here. 14 minutes and 55 seconds to be exact. Oh, Flick with the back of the heel does find an opportunity at goal scoring. The Cougars, man, that was their best opportunity since they got the first goal of the game. That ball will go out of bounds, and the ref is saying it's Cougars ball. Some of the fans here in attendance aren't happy with that call. Here come the Knights. Varmasirian tries the cross-field pass up to Guzman Hernandez. Guzman Hernandez, long pass up to Dengler. Dengler was just onside, so if that pass would have found him, it would have been an opportunity. Here's Guzman Hernandez. Pulls it back. Up to Hoffmeister. Hoffmeister. Long play up to Blamo Jr. Blamo Jr. Can he turn the corner? He can't. Marco Delori is going to let that roll out of bounds safely. And what an exciting second half this has been. What an exciting game this has been. The first 45 was exciting, but man, this last 45 is up the excitement level a couple notches. Here's Dangler. Pass up to Blamo Jr. He's trying once again. This time, can he get it done? He's got the ball. Shot. Oh! Last touched by the Knights. So a goal kick here for, or actually be a free or a throw in. And the ref is going to stop play here as we have a Cougars player down on the ground. So we'll take an injury timeout and be back after this. All right, now injured player seems to be up, just a cramp. A little stretching, and he seems to be all right. Just over 10 minutes left to play here in the rest of this contest, and the score remains at 1-1, and that ball was out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars, and Seth Walter of the Knights is going to come up from his defensive line to take the throw. Walter, ball's up in the air. Dangler's there, but so is Hunter Alchin. Alchin was the one who was able to get his head on it, but he couldn't do anything with it. Here is Asaro on the far sideline. Ball's up, and Blamo Jr. had control of it for a moment, but his pass was not a good one, and he turns it over. Here come the Cougars. Don't have numbers, but they do have space. Now even more space as they cross the field. Now going for a through ball. Robert Sims is not there, but Kyle Cooper is. Robert Sims let the defender get past him, but it didn't come back to hurt him. Here's Dangler trying to control this ball and get a shot off. Great job of defending Dangler from getting to the ball. That was great defense being played there by Lovett Check of the Cougars. Seth Walter here with another throw in. The last throw in he had was a good one. This time he elects to go for the short throw, and got some pushing going back and forth. Who's it going to go on? Seemed like the two players were doing equal parts pushing and shoving, so no card or no whistle. Instead, just a stern talking to. Dangler was there, couldn't get a head on it. That went just over his head, barely. Here's Seth Walter. Dangler with the overhead flick of a kick to Walter. And Asaro. Oh, man, that was a dangerous play by Asaro, but he was able to make it. He was coming across the field, and if he wouldn't have been there, that would have been a one-on-one breakaway. And that ball will roll off the end line. And with just over 10 minutes left, a corner kick for the Cougars. Great opportunity. Let's see if they can make the most of it.
You saw the first game.
Corner kick for the Cougars. Taking the kick is number 27, Pete Wickesser.
Wickesser. Hands up in the air. Ball's going to follow. Good corner. Finds the head of Seth Walter, though. Here's Varmasirian trying to turn the corner and get the Jets going. And the knee of the Now that is a level of sportsmanship I have never seen at any level. I've never seen somebody from the other team stretch out another player. It's a nice display of sportsmanship, though, because I'm sure didn't seem like Sirion took a bump there. Seemed like it was more just a cramp. But he's not getting back up, so maybe the injury is worse than initially thought. Injury timeout taken on the field, and we'll take one, too. We'll be back right after this. All right. Barma Sirion has left the field under his own power, so hopefully we see him back into the game. That head ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars, so Seth Walter's going to take the throw over everybody's head. Dangler's there, but so is Blamo Jr. and so is Brian Roney. Which one of them is going to come away with it? Or will a Cougars player come away with it? Cougars player does come away with it. Now they have space. Don't have numbers, but they do have a lot of green in front. Not as much green now as Brian Roney switched it off. Cut him off. Shot. Goal. No! Oh, my goodness.
He's got three.
Over everybody's head. Blamo Jr. Here's Dangler. He's got space in front of him. He's not going to take advantage of it. Instead, he's going to go for the long kick, and I think that was his only move there, as the defense for the Cougars seemed like they were going to cut his lane at his shooting lane out before he got into it. So he had to go for the long shot, maybe a little faster or sooner than he wanted to.
Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez.
Oh, man! Man, I should buy stock in Jake Dangler because I've been saying his name all this second half. And if the Knights are going to get this win, I know Dangler, he does a little bit of talking out there on the field. He was pointing at the goalkeeper. I think he was saying, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Hoffmeister. Play up to Roney. That ball goes over everybody's head. Blamo Jr. trying to chase it down. Man, this game, this has just been an incredible second half. What is going to happen? We're just under 7 minutes away from the end of this contest, the end of regulation. If this thing remains at 1-1, we're going to go into overtime. It'll be 2 10-minute periods, but it will be golden goal. So you want to finish this right here. You don't want to get into overtime. Let that golden goal rule take effect. Watch your season end on some trickery. Bad clear attempt there by the Cougars. Look at all the backspin on that ball. Alchin. It's the second time the Knights have gone for that overhead kick. Worked out for him somewhat. First time, second time, not so much. That's some words going back and forth between some of the Cougars and Knights players. You got to have a moment of realization there when you're out on the field of, man, we're playing a really good game right now. Maybe that's just me. Robert Sims. Sims, not a very good pass. And here come the Cougars. But a good head ball by Asaro put a stop to that offensive momentum before it got rolling. Cougars still in possession of the ball, though, trying to get something going. And Hunter Alchin finally clears that ball out. Cougars still with possession, but for how long? We'll find out. Up on the far sideline, now working into the middle, trying to get past Asaro. Does, but Roney picks up Asaro, bails him out. But doesn't bail him out enough, though, as that ball will roll off the end line. And here is a corner kick for the Cougars. Great opportunity here for the Cougars. Just under 5 minutes left in this contest. Cougars and the Knights have had plenty of opportunities here on corner kicks, but neither team has been able to do anything with it. Let's see if it switches here on this play for the Cougars. Hands up in the air. Ball will follow shortly. Good corner, but I believe there's Jake Dengler there with the head. He gets that out of the danger zone. Clement Blamo Jr. trying to run down that 50-50 ball, but he's just not fast enough. Here are the Cougars. Knocking on opportunity's door once again. Right outside the box. Shot. Is no good. Well wide of the net. Goal kick coming up here for the Knights. 4 minutes exactly is all that separates these two teams from the end of not only this game, but this season. Hands up in the air, ball follows shortly. Michael Nunez can't control the 50-50 ball, but Brian Roney can. Roney up to Dengler, and Dengler can't control the pass from his teammate. It ends up being a turnover, and you can't shrug your shoulders on that one. Full extension of the arms. You may see a yellow card on that one. Nope.
That wasn't bad. Definitely a push, but get up.
Dengler walking over to the sideline with the rest of his teammates as an injury is out on the field. So we'll take an injury timeout. Be back right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here, ready to play the final 3 minutes and 13 seconds, or what is going to be the final 3 minutes and 13 seconds of regulation if one of these two teams can't get a goal. Free kick for the Cougars goes right to a Knights player, Brian Roney, but Roney couldn't control it. He gives it right back to the Cougars. And now with 3 minutes left in the game, something has got to give here. Clement Blamo Jr. steals it. Up to Michael Nunez. Now Dengler. Dengler, he's got a man on his back, and it's stolen away from him. Jake Dengler, he had two black jerseys on his back, and one of them was able to steal it away. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Here's Guzman Hernandez. Just over 2 minutes left in the contest. Hands up, balls up in the air. Dengler's there, and he puts a head on it, but he's not very accurate. A lot of mustard on that head ball. Accuracy was lacking. Missed opportunity there, man. So many chances these two teams have had. What an incredible 45 minutes this second half has been. What is going to happen? We're only a minute and 40 seconds away from the end of regulation. Either something's got to give or we're headed into overtime. I've been here calling these championship games. This is my fourth year here. This would be the first year that the game would go into overtime. And a good job of shielding the Cougars player from getting to the ball by Seth Walter. Dengler, head on the ball. Oh, my God. Mama, there goes that man. Mama, there goes that man. Oh, my goodness. Doesn't get much closer than that. Jake Dengler, man, he has got his fingerprints all over this game. Win, lose, or draw, he's going to find himself in the all-tournament team. Corner kick. Oh, Robert Sims is coming in there with a lot of heat. 45 seconds is all that separates these two teams from the end of the whistle, from the end whistle. And good defensive play there by the Cougars. And a long pass is not a very good one. And the ball will go out of bounds. Body language is not very good for the Cougars right now. But we're going to go into overtime, tied at 0-0.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You heard the 10-second countdown. That's the end of regulation. We're headed into overtime. Anything can happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The first 45 minutes was an exciting one. The score after that was 0-0. The second 45 minutes was even more exciting than the first. And the score after that was 1-1. So we're pretty much right back to where we started. Give you the lowdown for what's going to take place here in overtime. There is... I don't think... Had a technical difficulty there for a minute. Game started, but the clock didn't. Well, the lowdown for overtime is this is 2 10-minute periods, but the golden goal rule is in effect. So the first team to score will be the winner. If we don't have a goal after the 2 10-minute periods, we are going into the penalty kicks. I think I can speak for every fan here in attendance, every player on the field, and every coach on the sideline when I say, let's finish this here in overtime. Varma Sirian back into the game after taking a break because of the cramping that he experienced earlier in the second half, or late in the second half, excuse me. Cougar on the offensive attack for how long? Not long. That ball goes out of bounds. It's getting chippy out on the field and in the stands as well. People are getting fired up here. This has been an incredible championship game, and the ending is going to be equally as incredible, I'm sure. Players still down on the ground, so we'll take a injury timeout with the players out on the field. We'll be back after that. All right, the injured player has walked over to the sideline. He's going to take a break. So here's Varma Sirian. Can he save it from going out of bounds? He does. He's got to get a cross off now. Does. Dangler's there. Oh, man, Dangler. He high-pointed that ball, but somehow he wasn't able to get it on goal. Here is a corner kick here for the Knights. See if they can take advantage of it.
Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez.
Guzman Hernandez. Hands in the air, balls in the air. And a good save there by the goalkeeper. And it was offsides anyway. Now I'm going to go on a limb and say Varma Sirian is getting those words of encouragement from his brother. He's telling him to go baseline next time, take advantage. Let's see if he comes in with it. Varma Sirian, nice step over, got himself some space to get a cross off. And his cross was good, but just didn't find anybody. Here come the Cougars. They have space, but they don't have numbers. Now they ran out of space, and they ran out of the ball as well. Knights now in possession. And, oh! Robert Sims. Some harsh words for the ref after that trip. Seth Walter now, he'll take the free kick right at the midfield line. We've played almost a full 4 minutes here in the first period of overtime. Oh, I always say it doesn't count for anything other than style points, but I give that style points a solid 10. That was nice. Little flick of the heel. And I believe that was a continuation call that the referee is not going to allow to go forward. The referee was going to give the Cougars the advantage, but once the Knights got a hold of the ball, he had to blow the whistle. And here come the Cougars, their best opportunity they've had here in overtime. Really their best opportunity since scoring the first goal of the game. After they scored that goal late in the second half and the Knights answered back, they seemed to kind of be a beaten and defeated team. But now here in the first part of overtime, they're knocking on opportunity's door once again. Only a one-man wall that consists of number 7, Clement Blamo Jr. Blamo Jr. can't do anything with that. And a nice catch in the air by Cooper. That's a real tough catch there. You mistimed your jump, allowed that ball to get over your head. Could have been a goal. You can't allow a goal here now, as the next goal wins. And man, I'm scratching my head on that one. I'm not too sure what the foul call was. I think Jake Dengler and Carlos Guzman Hernandez were trying to get an explanation from the ref. I hope it was a good one. Nice job of saving that ball from the end line. Varma Sirian, don't know what he's still doing on his backside. Get up and help your offense out. Here's Dengler trying to get past the last line of defense. Love it, doing a great job of keeping that ball away from Dengler and clearing it out of the defensive zone. Here come the Cougars. Don't have space, don't have numbers, and they don't have the ball either. Had that one stolen away from him, but the Knights give it right back. Cougars, long through ball that won't find anybody other than the goalkeeper for the Knights, Kyle Cooper. Cooper up to Sirian. Sirian. Through ball up to Blamo Jr. He's got space in front. Cross. Roney. He got a leg on it, but couldn't do anything with it. Man. The offensive momentum. The offensive momentum is squarely on the shoulders of the Knights, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. Here come the Cougars. They've got space, and they don't have the ball, though. That's going to be a yellow card. Issued to number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. At least he got his licks in on that one. He earned it. We used to have a basketball coach that said, if you're going to foul somebody in the paint, make sure he doesn't give it back up.
Yellow card issued to the Knights number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez.
Up the field. Good play there by the Cougars. Lots of black jerseys around. They can get something done here. If they can only get possession of the ball, that is. 50-50 ball continues to roll up the sideline, but last touch by the Knights. Here come the Cougars once again. Far sideline. Can't be controlled. Man, the Cougars are not doing a good job of controlling the ball on the 50-50. And honestly, I can't say I disagree with the Cougars fans who are upset that they didn't get a call there. Seemed like Walter Avila did a little bit of pushing there. Cougars' best offensive opportunity they've had of the overtime period. Substitution coming into the game for the Cougars. The Knights stay packed. Or stay tight, excuse me, with their unit. Here's a throw-in, will be taken by Devin Funga. I'm pretty sure you got to come across straight over the head with the throw, and Devin Fungas pretty obviously came from the side there that time. He tried to throw a nice Clayton Kershaw curveball that didn't find the strike zone. Varma Sirian, ball on his foot, trying to get past that last line of defense in there. Devin Funga doing his best Matumbo impression, giving him the, not today, young man, not today. John Asaro, he's going to take the throw. Little confusion with the ref with where the throw-in should be taking place. But this will probably be the last possession of the first period, overtime period, I should say, for the Knights. Blamo Jr. Blamo Jr. played that off of his toe and watched it roll safely off the end line for a missed opportunity. 30 seconds is all that separates these two teams from the end of the first period, first overtime period, I should have said. Dangler chests it down to Sirian. Sirian tried to split two defenders with the pass over to Blamo Jr. Here come the Cougars. Last opportunity of the first overtime period for them. It's not a long one.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that is all she wrote for the first period of overtime. We've got a second period coming up after this short break. It could be the final period of the game, or we could be headed for some penalty kicks. We'll be back right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here and ready to play what could be the final 10 minutes of this contest, or we could be in store for penalty kicks, because this is the second and final period of overtime. The score after the first 45 minutes was 0-0. The score after the second 45 was 1-1. The score after the first 10-minute overtime period was 1-1. Let's see what the score is at the end of this one. Jake Dengler, first offensive opportunity of the period for either team, was a very good one. Shot on goal, just couldn't finish it. Here's Blamo Jr., one-on-one breakaway, shot, oh, no good! What an incredible save! Oh my goodness! Marco De La Lori with an incredible save, a season-saving save. Oh my gosh! Put that on a highlight tape with some music behind it, and you got a YouTube video. Man, that was incredible. Full extension going across his body, makes the save. Mama, there goes that man. Mama, there goes that man. Oh, my. We'll be back after this quick injury timeout. And a drop ball that the Cougars just kick out of bounds, because before the injury timeout, the Knights did have possession of the ball and they kicked it out of bounds so we can get the injured player off the field. So let's see what is going on here. Almost played a full 2 minutes here in the second period of overtime. And the Knights have already had two really good opportunities at goal, one by Dengler and one by Blamo Jr. Sirian plays it back to Guzman Hernandez, and that did not look good. Cougars player took a really hard fall on the ground. He seems to be up and okay, though. Sirian, ball on his foot, trying to get past the last line of defense for the Cougars, and he can't. But Guzman Hernandez will take the corner kick for the Knights. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Oh, Sirian. Correction, taking the kick is number 6, Parma Sirian. Parma Sirian. So the PA announcer announced that it was Guzman Hernandez, and then it looked like Sirian was going to take it, and then Sirian was like, oh, you know what? I'll let you take it. That is his specialty. I mean, he is the corner kick specialist for this team, so I think it's a good move to have Guzman Hernandez take this kick. He's had a couple really good corners already in this game, just haven't worked out for goals. Let's see if this one is the one that breaks this game wide open and puts us to the end of this contest. Oh, man! It doesn't get much closer than that, and the goalkeeper came out with a lot of aggression, and he paid for it as he took a hard fall down onto the ground, and he's writhing around in some pain. We'll take a break and be back when the action resumes. Injury timeout is over. The goalkeeper, Marco DeLora, will stay in the game for the Cougars. Now with just under 8 minutes, long shot. Oh, Cooper right at him. That was a very good long shot. The mustard was just right, and the accuracy was pretty close to being just right. Here's Dangler trying to get around the defender. Get that ball. He does somehow. He plays it back to Roney. Now Roney trying to get it around. Dangler into the middle to Blamo. Blamo shot. Oh, doesn't even split the uprights this time. Very, very close. Blamo Jr., he had a good angle, but not much time to really put all he wanted to into that shot. Had a couple black jerseys coming around him to take that ball away from him. Here come the Cougars, or at least here they're trying to come. Oh, good play up the field. Blamo Jr. shot. No good. Oh, man. How many times are the Knights going to get one-on-one breakaways and not finish here in this second period of overtime? Injury on the field. This one seems to be a little bit more serious. We have 2 Cougars players down on the field. They did collide during that play. So we'll take another injury timeout. Be back here after that. Carlos Guzman Hernandez has a corner kick for the Knights when we come back. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Guzman Hernandez hands up. Ball will follow it shortly. Over everybody's head, man. Carlos Guzman Hernandez, his last 2 corner kicks have not been very good. It has gone over everybody's head. He's got another chance here. Or does he? Actually, Brian Roney will take this one. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 19, Brian Roney. Here's Roney. Just over 6 minutes left in the contest. There is a head on that ball, but it is from a Cougars player. And it's out of the goal-scoring range. Oh, Dangler was very close. Wouldn't have mattered if he got a head on it anyway, as he got called for the push. Man, back-to-back close opportunities there for the Knights. Starting to look more and more like we're in for some penalty kicks, and that's a bad goal kick. That could be a direct result of the injury that he seemed to have had in the early part of this second period of overtime. Long throw over everybody's head. Marmasirian is there, but can he get the 50-50 ball? He will. Can he get a cross off? He does. It goes over the goal's head, the goalkeeper's head. And missed opportunity there. 5 minutes exactly left here in this game. 5 minutes is all that separates us from heading into the penalty kicks. Ball's up in the air. Back-to-back goal kicks for the Cougars that have not been very good. Guzman Hernandez, long shot off the post. Oh, man, off the post. It's better to be lucky than good at anything. And right there, the Cougars got so lucky. They come away victorious here this afternoon. They're going to need to say some thanks to their friendly neighborhood post. So he kept them in that game. Marmasirian trying to get up the far sideline. He has it stolen away from him, but the the Knights steal it right back. Go for a long cross-field pass that wasn't very accurate. And clock continues to run here. No ball boys around, or actually there was, but goalkeeper for the Cougars said he didn't want that ball. He wanted to take the one that was behind his net. Interesting. Taking some time off the clock here for sure. Could come back to hurt them. Or maybe this is their game plan. They just want to take as much time off the clock, play for penalty kicks. If there's an opportunity, they'll take advantage of it. If not, they're happy to go into the penalty kick portion of the game. I don't know. We'll see. Will it get that far? We will have to wait and see. Walter Avila calling for some help. Over the head of Roney, but onto the foot of Dengler, but Dengler couldn't control it. Turnover. Here come the Cougars. Oh, but not for long. Trent Hoffmeister, I thought he was going to make it. Instead, he commits a penalty. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this, the second and final period of overtime here in this NJCAA Men's Championship Contest. Guzman Hernandez faked like he was going to go for the long pass. Instead, he's going to dribble in. He's got space in front of him. Oh, the through ball almost found Sirian, and that was dangerously close. Cougars, I'm sure, were holding their breath on that play. Here's a nice move by Seth Walter. Last line of the defense there. He had to get rid of that. Dengler tripped up, looking over at the ref. He wants a call, not going to get one. Robert Sims puts a head on it. 50-50 ball won by the Cougars. How long will they possess it? Offensive opportunities haven't really been there for this team in this overtime period. Getting around the defense. Cougars still with possession of the ball. Under 2 minutes to play. Cougars near sideline. Can they control it? 50-50 ball will not be controlled. Instead, it'll roll out of bounds. Walter Avila wants to get things going quickly. Not a lot of time left. This could be the final offensive opportunity of the overtime period. Dengler can't control it. Cougars do a good job of clearing it. More white jerseys than black jerseys, though, in that area. But white jerseys, last one to touch it. Just over a minute left in the contest. Here come the Cougars once again. This could be their final offensive opportunity. Not sure why things haven't started moving yet. Now they finally do. Just wasting a lot of time off the clock. It's kind of head-scratching, a little puzzling. The throw in is going to be cleared by Robert Sims, but not very well. That ball goes more up than out. And here's going to be another clear attempt. Actually, nope. Kyle Cooper is going to let that come over towards him. He's going to punt it, try and hope that something miraculous happens in the next 20 seconds, or we're going to be headed into penalty kicks. Dengler deflects that pass. Here come the Cougars. Got to get something going. 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Doesn't get much more exciting than this. We finish overtime with an opportunity for the Cougars to win it. They can't do it. And for the second game in a row, the Knights are going to have to win it in penalty kicks. Let's see what they've got. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the rest of this game. It's going to be penalty kicks from here on out. Taking the first penalty kick of the game for the Knights is number 25, Jake Dengler. He shoots and scores. So the Knights out to an early lead here in penalty kicks. And now the penalty kick taker here for the Cougars, number 12, Elmer Ochoa. Let's see here. What do they have in store? What a big moment here for these two teams. Doesn't get much more pressure packed than this. Elmer Ochoa needs this to stay even with the Knights. The kick. And a save by Kyle Cooper! Oh my!
Rub! Give him a rub!
And a lack and just an absolutely
Give him a red.
lapse in judgment there. Kyle Cooper made the save, and then he was pushed by Elmer Ochoa. Kind of just lost his cool there for a moment. But what a huge moment here for Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Could put the Knights up 2-0 here in the penalty kicks. Man, pressure packed. Guzman Hernandez, shot good! Carlos Guzman Hernandez. This doesn't get much more pressure packed than this. If you are a Cougars fan, player, or coach, you need this moment here to be a good one. I believe that is number 23. Or no, it's 21, excuse me, and he makes the goal! Nice! Ricardo Alfaro, the goal for the Cougars. They're still in this one. 2-1 score right now here in penalty kicks. What a huge moment here for number 24, Seth Walter. Walter does not get many opportunities at goal scoring here for the Knights. But this goal here could be the biggest of his life and his season. And Seth Walter with the goal. It is now 3-1 in favor of the Knights. And the Cougars need this goal.
It'd be bad if I just played that.
Shot. It's good. Oh, man, that was a huge moment there for the Cougars. Watching the season flash right before their eyes there with a play like that. Robert Sims taking the kick. The first non-starter for the Knights to take a penalty kick here. Sims, it's good! Buries it into the corner. Robert Sims. Say a little, do a little dance, get down tonight. Here is the opportunity. Michael Balua, I believe it is, taking the kick here for the Cougars. Shot is good. Oh, man, slow roller. Cooper guessed on that one and guessed wrong. Walter Avila now. Once again, just like Robert Sims before him, not a player who gets a lot of opportunities at goal scoring, but he could have the biggest goal of his young life right now. Here's Avila. Steps up, shot. It's good! Buries it into the back of the net. That's all she wrote, fans. Oh, my goodness. Walter Avila. Every man wants to feel like a hero at least once in his life. And Walter Avila, congratulations, young man. You are the hero this evening. The look of excitement on the Knights' face says it all. The look of disappointment on the Cougars' face says it all as well. The final score here in penalty kicks. The Knights pull out the victory 4-2. In the penalty kick shootout. They are now 6-time defending champions in the Region 20. Just like the Chicago Bulls, they are a dynasty. 6 championships. Congratulations, Knights. Stick around for the all-tournament team that's coming up right after this.
And finally, from CCBC Essex, number 33, Kyle Cooper. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one last time for the all-tournament team. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to announce the runners-up for our tournament winner, Frederick Community College. Number 1, Marco De Loria. Not reading the team. And now put your hands together for the tournament winner, the CCBC Essex Knights. The Knights team, number 0, Dylan Guarnio. Number 2, Hunter Alchin. Number 3, Carlos Guzman Hernandez. Number...
Yeah, you're good. He said you could read off in it.
Number 5, Henry Ortiz. Number 6, Varma Sirian. Number 7, Clement Blamo Jr. Number 8, Cameron Schnack. Number 9, Noah Shade. Number 10, Gage Robinson. Number 11, Michael Nunez. Number 12, Dominic Padilla. Number 13, Edwin Navas. Number 14, Robert Sims. Number 15, Surafel Osiris. Number 16, John Asaro. Number 17, Logan Funk. Number 18, Shashir Bishwakarma. Number 19, Brian Roney. Number 20, Tangwa Aka. Number 21, Adam Wise. Number 24, Seth Walter. Number 25, Jake Dangler. Number 27, Trent Hoffmeister. And finally, number 33, Kyle Cooper. The Knights are led by head coach Joe Fiedler, assistants Jason Rems, Tim Fiedler, and Tyler Farrell. One last time, put your hands together for your champions.
Oh, number 4, Walter Avila. So to answer your question, yes, number 4. So here's the all-tournament team for the Knights if you want. Oh, who won? want. Okay, here you go.
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
All right.
All right, so
God, why didn't I put it in? Yeah, I think we're good. I'm missing out the